What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the channel. Hope everybody's having a freaking awesome day so far. Before we get into today's video, I have a very special announcement to make. Recently, I was offered an opportunity to get into my very own brand new, fully redone office space. They offered it to me at just $400 a freaking month. This was an offer that I could not resist. I can't wait to show you guys what this place looks like. For anybody that's been watching the channel for a while, you know that I put a video out every 3 to 5 days, so usually around like 2 times a week. So I do apologize for the delay, but it was so totally freaking worth it. I can't wait to show you guys this new spot. Let's have a look. All right, you guys, so this is the new spot, and it is absolutely incredible. This is so much better than my last area. I loved my last spot, but it was so much smaller than what I'm working with now. Check this out. It just looks so freaking awesome. I have so much more space just to put up everything that reflects on my personality, and I freaking love it. Everything that you see is an absolute total reflection of myself. The fact that I could actually make something into my own like this, it blows my mind. So at the last spot that I was doing my videos at, I was paying $1,200 a month. And it was probably about 50 to 75 feet smaller than this in terms of square footage. So to be offered something like this is that's something that only a dummy would have passed up. I can't freaking believe it. I cannot wait to make future content here. It is going to be freaking amazing. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the PC that we're going to be working on today. So today we're going to be taking a look at an old Dell Inspiron. I found this thing at a garage sale for 10 bucks. I could not resist. It looks like it's in absolutely fantastic condition. I can't wait to see if this thing works, see if it can do a little bit of gaming, and see what kind of goodies it has on the inside. This is going to be a fun one, you guys. Let's freaking get into it. So as previously stated, we're going to be taking a look at a Dell Inspiron. Not really sure when this thing came out, but one thing that I noted is the fact that this still has the peeling on the front. It is freaking crazy. This front is in absolutely perfect shape. No scratches, no dents, no nothing. Along with the rest of the case, it's in prime shape. This thing it's perfect. So going to the back here, we see that we do have a standard size PSU. We do not have a graphics card. Can't wait to show you guys the GPU that I plan on putting in here. But overall, this thing is in absolutely freaking good shape. This thing is such a beautiful PC. So, I mean, it is a standard desktop PC, but with the right GPU, things like these can definitely be sleeper gaming machines. So let's get this thing hooked up, see if we can get it to post, and go from there. Alright, you guys, so we got this thing all hooked up, ready to go. Do you think that it's going to give us a picture on the screen? And leave a comment down below. What kind of specs do you think that this old gal is going to have? Fingers crossed, let's freaking go. Alright, so we do have our power light here. And let's go ahead and see, do we get picture on the screen? And we do in fact have picture on the screen. Freaking awesome. See if we can get into the BIOS and see what kind of specs we're working with. Easy freaking peasy. Alright, so it looks like we're working with an i5-3330 CPU running at 3 gigahertz. Aside from that, it looks like we have 8 gigs of DDR3 1600 megahertz RAM. Definitely not bad. Let's go ahead and see what our temps look like. Let's see if we can't get into our monitor here. Alright, so after looking at our options here in the BIOS, there is no way to see what our temps are on the CPU, unfortunately. That's very aggravating. I hate bare bones BIOSes like this, but you know, from time to time it happens. So let's go ahead and get this thing laid down on the operating table and let's see what we got going on the inside. See how dirty it is, see what our thermal paste looks like. Alright, so we got the side panel off on here. First thing I notice is our power supply, and this thing is nothing special. Looks like this PSU is, obviously it's a standard Dell, it's running at 300 watts, nothing impressive. Aside from that, it looks incredibly clean on the inside. We do have some dust and debris going on down here, nothing too bad. But aside from that, check this out. We just have these random brackets just chilling on the inside. That's definitely no bueno. Go ahead and set those off to the side. But aside from that, this thing is definitely very beautiful and clean on the inside. Like I said, it's got a little bit of dust, but nothing that's too crazy. I'll probably actually be able to leave everything in the case here and just give it a quick clean, and then go ahead and go for our thermal paste. So, as per usual, off camera, I'll go ahead and give this a nice quick clean, and then we're going to take a look at the RAM that I plan on putting in here, because 8 gigs is just not enough for what I plan on doing. And then we will take a look at the GPU that I also plan on installing in here. So before we get into the goodies that I plan on putting in here, I did go ahead, give this thing a nice good clean. We do have new thermal paste installed on here. This thing should be good to go. Before we actually start installing the goodies, I would like to point out the fact that this CPU came out all the way back in 2012. In terms of capabilities, I mean, this thing, on paper, it seems like it's pretty capable. So it is a 4-core processor. It has a turbo frequency of 3.2 gigahertz, and it can run up to 32 gigs of DDR3 RAM. Definitely not freaking bad. I definitely hope that this thing can run the games that I plan on running on here. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at the RAM and the GPU that we're going to be using with this thing. So first up is our RAM. We are going to be using Crucial Ballistix 1600 megahertz, 8 gig per stick, 16 gigs total RAM. And then, I haven't even tested this thing yet. I'm praying to God that this thing actually works. But this is a GeForce GTX 1050 Ti. This is a 4 gig card. This should definitely do our CPU justice. So I'm going to go ahead and get this stuff installed, and then we're going to see what this thing can do. Alright, so we have our RAM installed. We have our 1050 Ti installed. Let's go ahead and see if we still get picture on the screen. So fortunately, it does still power on. I didn't break anything, that's a good thing. Our fans are spinning. Do we get picture? And there is our picture. Freaking awesome. Let's go. So when I come back, we're going to have all of our games and Windows installed on an SSD, and we're going to see what this thing can do. Alright you guys, so our first game is going to be Valheim. This is generally a pretty easy game to run, but it can definitely be taxing on older systems, especially ones like this. But right off the bat, we're getting well over 50 FPS. I am seeing some dips down into the 40s, which is not too bad. I am getting a little bit of stuttering here and there, but nothing too crazy. I would definitely say that this game is absolutely playable once all the textures have loaded in and whatnot. So our GPU is running right around, I'd say anywhere from 60 to 68C. We are getting 100% utilization, so there's not really much of a bottleneck going on here. I only see about anywhere from 30 to 50% usage on our CPU, which is also running nice and cool, running right around 50C. So this is definitely not a bad system for the money. I'm talking 10 bucks at a garage sale, I do believe is what I paid for this. I did pick up the 1050 for right around 35 bucks on Facebook store, so not bad at all. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and move on to our next game. Alright you guys, so next up is a game called Grounded. This can definitely be taxing on a system that's old like this, but it seems to be running absolutely phenomenal. We're getting right around 60 FPS. If you guys haven't ever heard of this game, you should definitely check it out. Super cool. It's kind of like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, only turn into a game and open world survival. It's really freaking awesome. So with that being said, we're running right around 70C on our GPU. We're getting full utilization on our GPU at 100%. Our CPU is running right around 58C, which is not bad at all. And we are getting right around 60% utilization on our CPU as well. So definitely not bad for a newer game like this. I would say that this one is definitely a win. So let's go ahead and move on to our next game. Alright you guys, so next up is a game called Assetto Corsa. This is definitely one that'll test your system and see what it can do. This is at all high settings, and we are getting right about 130 FPS. It's not bad at all. There's no stuttering, no glitching, no issues whatsoever. Our GPU is running right around 60C. We're looking at 100% utilization, 95 to 100%. CPU is running at 57C, and then we're looking at about 20 to 25% utilization, which is not bad at all. So far, this is an absolutely phenomenal system, and right now I'm seeing almost 140 FPS. And again, these are all high settings, so very impressive for a CPU that came out all the way back in 2012. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next game. Alright you guys, so next up we have Sons of the Forest. And again, this is always a good game to test to really see where you're at with your system and what kind of games it can run. So obviously I'm in a very heavily textured area and we're running right around 40 FPS, a little bit over. We do have 65C on our GPU at 100% utilization. CPU is right around 50 to 60C, not bad at all. It's almost at around 70% utilization, so definitely not bad, and I'm not really seeing much of a bottleneck here either, so definitely rather impressive. Not a bad system at all. I did not expect this CPU to do as good as it actually is doing. This is rather phenomenal. Definitely surprised, not gonna lie. So I'm not really seeing any stuttering, a little bit of stuttering actually here and there, but nothing too major that would inhibit your ability to really enjoy the game. And we're almost at 50 FPS. Oh, we just hit 50 there for a second, so not bad at all. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and move on to our last game. All right, you guys, so next up and last but not least is a game called Scum. If you ever heard of DayZ, this is a lot like DayZ, only with much better graphics, and there's actually a lot more to this game than DayZ. So this is an open world survival zombie game. It does have mechs as well, and is honestly one of the funnest survival games that I've ever played. So we are playing at all low settings. I do believe the resolution is 1024 by 768, and that seems to give me the best result. If I do try and run this at 1080, it is very stuttery, and FPS is about half of what it's running right now. So right now we're running between 70 and 80 FPS. It's running really good, super smooth, no stutters, no glitches. It runs phenomenal. Our GPU is running right around 66C at 100% utilization, and then we have our CPU right around 60C at about 50 to 60% utilization. So not bad at all. It's running absolutely phenomenal, and for such a cheap PC to be able to play a game like this, that's just making a major statement. I honestly was going to use this game to show you guys what the system cannot do. Instead, it is manhandling this game no freaking problem. Absolute win. This PC is definitely gone way past my expectations, not gonna lie. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This was a super fun one to do. I cannot believe that this PC did what it did. Definitely blew my expectations out of the water. Freaking insane. Until next time, you guys, I will catch you in the next one. Stay safe in the world.